From the United States dawn to the kingdom's gray, a voice for the real I'll never fold. On the airwaves front, my truth I hold. I crossed the sea, left my homeland's light, to battle for truth in the kingdom's fight. They strike at dawn on PSB's early call. Time zones won't break me, I'll stand through it all. Ripples my fire, a coin to ignite, a future of freedom, I'll wage this fight. What's the cost to stand when the world's gone astray? Can a spark of truth light a darkened day? I stand on the line where the brave don't flee. Crypto's my weapon, it sets the truth free. Through the storm, in the scorn, I'll carve my way. Hear my voice, my fight with Based Amy today. Does a warrior rest when the battle's won? I dream of a shore neath the rising sun, a haven of palms, my island to be, a hard-earned refuge where my soul's set free. The line holds firm, it's a spark we ignite, a blockchain's promise, our guiding light. This is Based Amy, unyielding I stand, shaping the future with truth in my hand. The line holds firm, it's a spark we ignite, a blockchain's promise, our guiding light. This is Based Amy, unyielding I
Testing.
stand,
Oh,
shaping the future with truth in my hand.
ooh, ladies. Oh, timing, baby. Oh, I almost clicked the wrong thing. Oh, my lordy, please stop the clock. You know, you almost didn't have any sound. There was no sound. I had to do some panic clicking just as that was coming to an end. Good evening. Oh, please slow it down. Slow the time down. Slow some of the time down. Speed some of the time up. Good evening. It's Monday, the 19th of May, 2025. Based Amy here. Coming to you live from the studio, south coast of England. Oh, just completely, I swear, time is just speeding up. So what do I do? There's so much going on. I just don't know what to do. At the moment, I am in the middle of multiple projects, okay? Trying to keep track of what's real, what's fake. I'm doing scientific research. I'm doing legal research. I'm doing, obviously, trying to collate some of the old work. And I'm also studying lots of footage to determine reality or fiction as to what is going on. Now, there is so much distraction out there that nobody's going to be paying attention to the financial system except my lot. Hey, Wayne the Pain is in the house. Okay, let me just say good evening. Or let me say good evening to you guys first, okay? I'm going to try and just quickly, we are, you're my crew, right? You're the Based Amy army. And I very much appreciate you being with me. Got Two Guns Pete. Haven't done that for ages. Family Low is in the house. Wayne of Pain. Base T, I did see you. UK Neil. Hello. What have we here? UK Neil is in Rumble. Thank you for being there. And we have Base T in all the usual places. You are a star. Now, what I might do, okay, I'm going to say what the news isn't talking about, okay? What the fake stream media news is not talking about is XRP, right? Is we're on the brink. If you haven't, this is it, okay? I'm telling you now, it's the 19th of May, 2025. If you haven't got any yet, the ship literally is leaving the dock. If you might be able to just jump and reach it. Of course, I'm doing a ship sailing as opposed to a rocket ship firing up. It could go either way. I'm not sure, whichever form of transport you choose. But today is seemingly a big news day for XRP. Not seemingly, it is. And Ripple, again, I don't know, it's the never go with, what is it? Don't buy the news, sell the whatever. I don't know what that saying is. Sell the news, buy the something. Who knows? But right at this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start with this one first, okay? XRP is currently at £1.79 per 1 XRP. Now gone to £1.80 as we speak. It's going up by the pennies. Now, of course, looking at Bitcoin, Bubba, £79,000 as of this time. And for the US crew, I will be adjusting the chart so that you can see the US price, because everybody talks about the US price. So currently it sounds much more impressive with Bitcoin at $105,782, all in the green. We got XRP baby at $2.39, up a little bit. But look, the news is just redonkulous. So today the CME launched the ETF, XRP, not ETF. Is it the ETF? Hang on. I don't want to give you fake news. Anyway, I'm going to be talking crypto, right? And this is it. I'm telling you. I'm not going to try and convince anybody after this, right? Tonight is the last night, the 19th of May. I'm not going to try to persuade anybody to buy any, all right? No, not my deal. Not financial advice. Don't do anything I say. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. The CME, which is the Chicago Mercantile Futures. So Chicago, oh God, what is it? CME. Come on. Chicago, oh man. Falling at the first hurdle. Anyway, XRP and micro XRP futures. The largest. Before I say anything else, let me go here. Hang on. Donald Trump is in the news. Let's see. Chicago. Come on. I've got a few more things added to my today's schedule. Please tell me it's elongated. Let's see. Here we go. No, reject all. Oh, I'm so excited, and now I've gone off. Come on. What is it called? Chicago. I'm gonna look in the chat. I'm gonna cheat. Mercantile Exchange. I think I wanted to say that, and I didn't. Thank you, Wayne the Pain, coming to the rescue. So the Chicago Mercantile Exchange launched, and in case anybody doesn't know who the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is, what am I doing? Done it already. Okay, whilst I'm looking for this, ChatGPT, it's huge. Let me just tell you, it's huge. It's huge. So, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, right? Let me just tell you how big this thing is. When I could get bloody ChatGPT to bloody well work. Come on, get off. I'm always ready. Right. CME, explain. CME, XRP, ETF. Right, here we go. I just put CME, XRP. Taking a bit of time. Okay, I'm going to try and calm down. Right. As of May 19th, 2025, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange has officially launched XRP future contracts. Now, of course, I'm not sure if, I don't know what to say. Of course, it's incredible. However, I, of course, saw something by somebody to put a negative on it to suggest that they could play the market because it's futures, so they could bet on the future price and then they could bring it down. They could muck about with the pricing with that. But anyway, I don't think they will, but they could. Marking a significant development in the cryptocurrency derivatives market. So they have cash settled contracts, blah, blah, blah. The introduction of XRP future on Chicago Mercantile Exchange is anticipated to enhance liquidity and price discovery for XRP. Now, when we talk about price discovery, that means beyond all-time high. And the all-time high for XRP is, I think, 380 something. So 238, it really hasn't moved at all on the news. Just never seemed to move. Maybe we've all been had. Maybe it will never happen. Who knows? But it's been a fun. It's been fun. It's been real. So it's could do this, could do that. The establishment of a regulated futures market for XRP may pave the way for the approval of spot XRP exchange traded funds, ETFs, in the future. As regulators have previously cited the existence of such markets as a prerequisite for ETF approvals. Now, the other thing that's happening today, right, with XRP, is the Genius Act, right, which is been in Congress. That's to do with digital assets, for regulate legislation, right? The Genius Act for do with stable coins. Here we go.
I believe that stablecoins in particular.
This is
I
today.
believe that stablecoins in particular give us a real opportunity to maintain dollar dominance across the globe. And we've talked a little bit about use cases, and as a policymaker in general, I might not be concerned about the way that someone in Mexico, Panama, Peru, Nigeria, or another location is engaged in transactions. But what we actually see is when Stripe has a neobank in Mexico, or Bridge is used to distribute payments to workers across Latin America, that actually strengthens the US dollar. Would you agree? Can you comment on that briefly?
Yes, I think it strengthens the US in two ways. One, many of the companies engaged in the activity you're describing are themselves American businesses, and so they become stronger. But secondly, and I think this is what your question is getting at, it increases dollar demand, increases the demand for US treasuries, and it in turn lowers US borrowing costs.
I believe.
So the thing is that everything's ramping up, right? There's good news, bad news. There's good news. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said that pro-Bitcoin Senator Cynthia Lummis cancelled a meeting with him and won't reschedule, quote. And he said, I hope you'll reconsider and be a leader for all of crypto. I invite you to join me on an X Space anytime. Well, the thing is, the elephant in the room is that XRP is Bitcoin 2.0, right? And with this advance of legislation, with the advent of the regulations and the creation, the launching, it's going to become apparent to everybody that in actual fact, XRP is the one. And Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin is the pet rock. And it's going to gather dust. No. I know, I've got to think about the Bitcoin maxis. They've always been horrible to us, but that's because they're well gel. They don't get it. They think they've got something big. They do. It was the father, the founder of the crypto space with decentralized finance. And so, they have a special place in people's hearts. But what I'd like to do, this is what XRP is going to be doing. I know I'm getting too excited, okay? I have to check myself because I always get excited, and unfortunately, my enthusiasm doesn't always, it rarely matches the price rising, okay? So I just want you to listen to these sound bites because this is it. Okay, remember, tonight, the night of the night, I'm not going to be trying to get anybody else to get any more, not to get any more, to get into it, right? This is it. Tonight is the it. This is the last chance saloon, really, because at any moment it could explode. So I want you to listen. XRP 24 Hours Crypto, he did a very good broadcast tonight with very good clips. So I'm going to play those for you. Helps if I put the sound up.
David Sachs came out today, and in his tweet he said, when I was a kid, I read every Isaac Asimov story about robots. Wow. If you already know where we're going with this, the connection, the facts. We are going to be very wealthy. And I'm not telling you that because you want to hear that. I'm telling you that because it is just facts. And soon, the world is going to be in for a rude awakening. Enjoy this.
Look, when you talk about that, the first thing, A+ talent is attracted to A+ places, right? And we all have seen that, right? Like, I mean, there's these mafias that have been created over the years, and you want to work with other really smart people.
We consciously set out to change the direction of the world. So we had very definite, very big plans. Our goal was nothing less than to replace the US dollar by creating a new digital currency.
And then how do you have a single bridge currency, XRP for example, that makes it much more efficient in how value travels cross-border, cross-network.
We had a young team when we started.
Just by the way, these are all historical statements. They're just clips from different times in the last however many years, right? These aren't from today. These aren't anything, but they're all sound bites to do with obviously XRP and Ripple, Bitcoin, right? And it's all coming together. It's ready to hit the crescendo. 7.5 years. It seems like we're on the cusp, are we? Flippin' heck, Berkshire Island, come on now.
I was the only person over 23 years old.
Ripple is really a second generation of the Bitcoin concept. They are
Do you hear that? Listen very carefully. I want you to hear that again, what he just said, very sort of rapidly and quickly, and I just want you to let those words sink in. Please listen. With Bitcoin, which is $105,000, just because it's number one, right? Number one coin. Bitcoin, XRP. Best kept secret, or the worst kept secret, whichever way you look at it. This is one of the creators, I believe.
Ripple is really a second generation of.
Sorry.
I was the only person over 23 years old.
Ripple is really a second generation of the Bitcoin concept. They are a new global currency, what we call a math-based currency.
Our goal was nothing less than to replace the US dollar by creating a new digital currency.
More efficient. So we look at the currency that we've created in Ripple really as more of an enabler of a new global payment system.
When he says Ripple, he's talking about XRP, okay? It is confusing for people who aren't familiar enough with the topic, but there is a blending and mixing of the words because they used to be called OpenCoin, then they called it Ripples, and then they called it XRP. So I think there's been an intentional changing just to keep us little people in a, what do we call it, speaking, off the scent, okay? They've had to try to keep us away from this because it means untold wealth if you have the right stuff. Okay? Yeah, generational.
We did fail at our greater goal. The dollar is still dominant. We didn't succeed in taking over the whole world. But we did create a successful company in the process.
We were much more focused on creating a better version of Bitcoin.
Okay.
You want to work with other really smart people.
Back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP.
We got a troll in the house. Hey, I haven't seen a troll for a while. Welcome, troll. Vigilant Patricute. Why do I suck? I don't know why that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is. If anybody wants to deal with the individual, but we'll see, because we come in with Based Amy Sucks and Pepe with his hand on his forehead.
All part of an unusual kind of tradition. The tradition we've inherited is itself about doing new things. The new science of Francis Bacon and Isaac Newton discovered truths that had never been written down in books.
This bloke's asleep in the background. He's finding it really scintillating. Actually, no, he probably had too many drinks at the party the night before. This one's gone.
And now let me take you back to 2013. The crypto market was in its infancy. No regulations, no institutions, just chaos, code, and a lot of capital on the sidelines from early investors. And the Silicon Valley elites were making their moves. Okay, big name investors back effort to build better Bitcoin. The PayPal mafia. These individuals, the same circle of billionaires that built PayPal from nothing. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, Mark Anderson, all a part of this. All in the same orbit. All with unbelievable reach and power. And you heard Peter Thiel talk about building that currency. And I'm going to play that one more time because I'm going to go more in depth to this. But now you're going to understand the fact that they failed on the currency part. Ripple came along, right? They saw it. So Peter Thiel, Anderson, they all invested into OpenCoin at its infancy. And look where we are today in 2025. I got to play this video one more time because my gosh, this is powerful.
When you talk about that, the first thing, A+ talent is attracted to A+ places.
I'm not going to play it again because I've just played it, right? Yes, I know. Two Guns Pete, Peter Thiel. Look, everybody's bad, right? Just understand. Listen, I need everybody to we need to park the paranoia and the concern. To be brutally frank, we're living in a demonically controlled world, okay? The thing is we have to mitigate. We have to plan to do as best we can under the circumstances. So remember, I mean, to be absolutely, totally frank with you, everybody, you know, getting into this space does not mean getting into getting into bed with these creatures, but you know, we're having to use the system that is there, and this one is decentralized. This one is It's a banker's coin, and it means a banker's coin for a reason. Banker's coin means lots and lots of value. Only the banker will have this asset to, you know, well, it won't be only him, but I mean, they want to use it because of the quality. So when people hold their, don't want a banker's coin, that's like swamp creature. That's what, of course that is. But then if you sort of, okay, let's put that aside and look at this practically speaking. If I get a banker's coin, I could do good things with it. I could be great, right? I could help people, blah, 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 right? So, yes, and I don't know what to say about the Peter Thiel, but you know what I mean? I don't know, the troll, I haven't banned the troll. So the troll came in like a typical lefty, right? Came in, went, well, the time is sucks, and then ran off again. I mean, it's not compulsory, is it, really, to come in and watch? It's not like you have to come and, you know, it's not like school when you had to go to school. Based Amy's channels are optional viewing, okay? All right? Not compulsory. Anybody who doesn't want to be here, you're free to go. Right?
When they were still branded OpenCoin, right?
Be your own bank,
everything
baby.
Was quietly aligning. And they were partnering up with one of the powerful players in tech. And they knew this was going to take time. But you know what's crazy about this? Is what is the real value of XRP? And what were they pitched behind those closed door meetings, right? Because if we go back to 2013, when this was all going on, they all got a little bit of XRP, November 25th, 2013, and this occurred on April 11th. So a couple months down the road, everything got finalized and they got bags of XRP. And what happened was, and some of you guys may say, we already talked about this. No. This is done. This case is now fully closed. The wealth is there.
The spray worked.
But you got to have a side of patience with it, okay? These guys have so much money, they don't care to make more money, but they're trying to build something that is going to make so much money, something that we have never seen before. So you know what? I think if it takes a couple years, 10 years to really build something, infancy, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Not 10 years. But listen, it's taken 10 years. It's taken 12 years. Remember, we're in 2025. They started this in 2013. So in actual fact, you know, it's there. Right, we're on the cusp. It's not like it's going to start from now, just so you know.
By all means, don't get into it if you don't believe in it. But Musk, Peter Thiel, right? They got the big bag of 16.7 million, and then they diversify. Well, they got their holdings, 5 million, and then we got 5 million, 5 million, all went out, right? So these names, Asimov, Isaac Newton, these wallets that were created, these are them. Like, I mean, if you disagree with this...
Okay, no, then he gets insulting. Listen, let me just say, right? This is, I'm going to jump a little bit ahead. So he's going to show how much with the XRP and the value of if it's a certain price.
What was pitched to them? What was really pitched to them? If the pitch back then was $100 XRP...
There's Musk, right? Elon Musk's wallet right there. He put his name on it, and Thiel. They put their names on at the beginning because it was like a novelty. They didn't know that once they're never gone, just so you know. Since then, everybody has their accounts anonymously, you know, as far as publicly viewing goes. So there's Musk, there's Thiel. This is Musk's. Actually, got to take a look at his account, to be honest. You can take a look and see what's going on with it. Ooh.
That's a $500 million return.
If it's $100.
If they said we see XRP going to $1,000, that's a $5 billion return. If they say they see XRP going to $2,500 per XRP, that is a $12.5 billion return. And if they saw what we see now, 5,000 XRP, that's a $25 billion return. And don't sit there laughing at a $5,000 XRP. And I'm not over here saying XRP is going to go to $5,000 for 100%. But I could tell you that XRP is going to go to $100 100%. But realistically, can XRP go to 1,000, 2,500, 5,000 in the future? Listen, if Bitcoin went from $1 to $110,000, $109,000, if Ethereum went from pennies to almost $5,000, of course XRP can go to $1,000. Of course.
Because the thing is it's the value of it. It's not speculation. Okay, there's a difference between what's been happening with people sort of, what do you call it, speculation. This is real world value. Okay, is what we're talking about. So it looks like, you know, Ripple's going to be going for USDC. It's all happening, right? You can watch this video at your leisure. I recommend it. He's very good at his content, although he does get a little bit it gets a little bit rude. Now the Demon Rats are going to want to try and squash what's going on, but they're only going to be able to hold it back for so long, and it's, you know, it's inevitable. And I like this this little what do you call it, meme. You've got the Pac-Man Ripple going for the USDC coin, which is going to be huge for the stablecoin market because it'll be RLUSD, baby. Oh, it's just amazing. All right, I am getting excited. Oh, stop. I shouldn't get excited. I should be really bored, really blasé. Don't worry about it. Not loads. Orchard Island, here I come. Right back. Not it from. Now, Brad said, the CEO of Ripple, said the launch of regulated XRP futures on CME Group marks a key institutional milestone. Institutional, right? Institutional investment. Up until now, it's just been us, really, and maybe a few bigger people with a bit more money. But the money in the crypto space has been small fry, not the institutions. Much longer. We've got the CME Group institution. Very excited to report that Hidden Road cleared the first block trade on CME at the opening. Away in the pain. You know, it's the lighting, okay? I don't have porcelain skin, trust me. Trust me, but I do appreciate the compliments. Keep them coming. I've had enough insults in my time. It's wonderful to have compliments. So now, apparently, there's a new court ruling. That's breaking news. That it turns out that Donald Trump can now fire Jerome Powell. The court said that he can fire federal. I mean, he could have fired him anyway. By the way, federal Jerome Powell. I don't know if he's going to do it. Another breaking news is apparently there's a class action lawsuit being filed against Michael Saylor, which is a Bitcoin maxi bloke all about the Bitcoin. strategy, alleging misleading statements about its Bitcoin strategy. What else we got here? We have the one big beautiful bill that's trying to get through, which is not to do with XRP just yet. Not doing that one. It's just, this is a long video.
Building and all there is that DeFi has.
What does it mean for XRP holders specifically?
I think XRP holders are deservedly excited about what Flare is doing. I'm excited about what Flare is doing.
At banks, I'm talking much broader. You know, I think.
Okay, I won't do that. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. All right, Genius Act. Here we go.
Seeks to regulate to vote on an important crypto bill this week. It's known as the Genius Act, and it seeks to regulate stablecoins. Joining us right now with the details is Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty, who is the lead sponsor of the bill. Good morning to you. A lot of crypto.
Good morning, Andrew.
Going to be watching this. How did just take us sort of full back to the beginning on this? How did this even come about, and what does this actually do for folks who don't know?
It's actually born from a great deal of frustration. We started working on the bill in earnest back in the fall. But we've watched what's happened with the absence of any type of regulatory framework here in America. And what we see is this type of innovative technology moving offshore. The last thing I want to see is that. I don't want to see innovation leaving America. It's all happening here right now. But what we saw was a lack of regulatory framework, which means a lack of certainty. And if you're using, enforcement actions from the SEC, which was what has been happening for the past 4 years, to regulate the markets, it creates massive amounts of uncertainty. This will fix it.
So, but in terms of just understanding how this bill works and what it does, what is it?
It basically establishes a legal and regulatory framework to issue stable coins here in America. Stablecoin is stable, meaning it's backed by a certain currency. In this case, it's tied to the U.S. dollar, but also it's backed either by cash or by short-term U.S. Treasury securities. So it's entirely safe. Having that type of regulatory framework and disclosure around it so we know exactly what's backing up these digital dollars, if you will, is going to be great.
Because what was happening before was the SEC would issue something that basically just scared people, wouldn't tell them what works. They would go after enforcement actions after things that they didn't like. Becky. And that left the entire industry saying, what are we allowed to do? What are we not?
But this is a payment mechanism, and not to be confused with Bitcoin or something that has a speculative component. This puts us into a digital payment framework.
Did you hear that about Bitcoin? Did you catch that? Everybody, whenever you hear it, you have to understand. Everybody, all they hear is Bitcoin big, Bitcoin best, Bitcoin this. Practical aspect of Bitcoin is that it isn't going to be used to shift the money. It's not going to be used by the institutions to shift any kind of money. It's a store of value. That is it. And it's also going to be hit by this fake out carbon crap, the carbon nonsense, which is just an excuse for them to charge people more money. But they're going to talk about a carbon footprint. It's in the fake world of the green aspect of the environment. Bitcoin, to mine it, is the energy of a country to mine one Bitcoin. So it's impractical to. It's just not going to work. It can't work. And again, this is the big fact. This is how they've done it. Okay, this is what they've done. They've had the golden egg has been sort of in the top 10. It's never been out of the top 10. XRP has never been out of the top 10 since its creation or, appearance on the CoinMarketCap, right? But it's not been number one. It came close. I think it came close in 2017, I suppose it was. That's when the lawsuit was there. It was just about to possibly take over Bitcoin, but it wasn't. But anyway. Then they stamped the lawsuit. They had to keep it. They had to keep it under the radar. It's so incredible. I cannot tell you. And of course, talk about the best kept secret or the worst kept secret. To be fair, to be frank, they haven't done a bad job of keeping it quite low key. Because still, there's only 6.484 million wallets XRP on the XRP ledger registered, right? There's 8 billion people in the world. There's only 6.4 million XRP wallets, and just about everybody has more than one. So that's not even accurate. And also, the statistics Right, we look at the statistics on here. If you think about how many people have any XRP of potentially generational wealth production or impact, you're going to look here where you'll see that the majority of people have, well, you've got 5.2 million of the holders have 500 or less XRP, right? So if somebody could do the subtraction of 6.4 million minus 5.2, that's only about 1 million people, right? 6.4, 5.2, is that 1.2 million? So, and in fact, you could, 1,000 XRP, 232,000. The numbers of people who have sufficient XRP that will make a difference, potentially. I mean, it might, the 1,000 obviously could make a difference, but it's not that many, considering how long they've been talking about it, how long all of the media, all of the information about Ripple XRP has been out there for years and years. The fake stream media, the narrative, propaganda, right? They've done an excellent job of just keeping it off of people's radars. And the fact, of course, that it's not regulated, no legislation, which means that the banks couldn't get into it. Everybody poo-pooed it. So the reason, they've been doing it, they've had to do that, is because it's open source, it's out on the internet. So they couldn't stop people from buying it, because the system has to be such that it can be used by everybody. When it gets done, it's going to be, well, look at this. Look at this. Where's my, here. Right now, this is a live image, not of the world, okay? Don't worry about the spinning globe, because, but just the transactions are real, okay? This is showing transactions that are going on as we speak on the XRP ledger around the world, and it's literally in the blink of an eye. It's the quantum financial system, and it's functioning. People are buying it, people are sending it, people are using it. It's not a future. It's not a technology that will be here. It's here and now, and it really is just a matter of when the flippening of the switching. And with today's CME, with the stablecoin bill, Genius Bill or Act or whatever they want to call it, looking like it's going to go through, or it may be stalled by the demon rats and the rhinos, because they just, there's a timing thing. It's a when, it's not if. So it's a matter of timing when they have decided when it's going to happen. Okay, so this is historic. It's truly historic day, right? With the launch of this today, the 19th of May, 2025. This puts XRP. It gives it a respect. It's like it's something. It's not a shitcoin. It's not crap. It's not fake money. It's not a thing. It's real. It's real. Just get it. Got it? Good. Yeah, baby. Vindication. That's what I'm saying, Fabio. Fabio said that is by design, Amy. They don't want us getting it. That's what I'm saying. They've done it on purpose. But obviously there's a number of us who have ignored the fake stream media news. We've ignored the government. The government is not our friend. Now, moving along. Right, so that's it tonight. No more. If you want to know how to get XRP, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. And the opportunity will be gone, because when, well, it's today, institutional, the legislation is going to be put through. And then what's going to happen is that the ease with which you can purchase it now is going to get harder because of blockades. Anyway, that's it. Done. Right, moving on now. Well, what is not being spoken about? Of course, honestly, I'm not bothered about the Trump-Putin call. Ukraine, Putin, rootin' tootin' Putin. Not, you know, it's going to resolve. Gaza and Israel again, getting to resolve somehow. But of course, with I'll say it once again, with Gaza, there's no such thing as a two-state solution. The only people who want a two-state solution are non-Muslims. Palestine, the region, or it's called that, is only in existence, the Palestinians, is to destroy Israel, to wipe it off the face of the earth. So there's no two-state solution. There's only one solution, which is to get rid of Hamas and have those people who are Arab Muslims either belt up and just live in a civilized manner amongst your fellow beings, or bugger off to a Sharia compliant country. Go to Jordan, go to Egypt, go to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia doesn't want them. So say. And for everybody who thinks that, you know, Palestine and everything else, they're just poor little people and they're just, all they have are stones to throw. You know, they don't have a big backing. Well, they're the only ones with UNRWA. They have their own UN organization that supports them. Oh, yeah. So, this is something else. Sorry. Apologies. Don't look at the side. This is from 2019. Okay, these are my images. Just to quickly cover the Gaza thing, that's a load of rubbish. It's a big fat psyop. It's not that people aren't dying. There is such a thing as Islam, the death cult. That exists. It is diabolical. And everyone who is in it is doomed to fail, right? But if, as far as organization goes, we have the Socialist Workers' Party. These were protests back in 2019, May, right? All the leaflets, right? Support Palestine. We had Freedom for Palestine. These are my pictures from just one of the videos I took at that time, right? How much does all that cost? See, they had the these posters aren't cheap. Somebody had to buy them. Hello, Soros. Hello, lunatics. Right? Deep state. Palestine narrative is bull crap. Ola. Gaza is crap. They're not being starved by Israel. I better, they're being starved by, if they're being starved at all, it's Hamas who's withholding the food. So free Palestine from Hamas is obviously what people say, who are sensible and intelligent. It's just a big fat manipulation. Okay? So, you see, whoever the fake stream media cries about, we need to know is the enemy. Okay? Fake stream media are wailing about a situation. You must take the opposite, otherwise you're one of them. Okay? I mean, seriously. They cry about Gaza, they cry about starvation, they cry about Israel holding back, they cry about this. So how much of the fake stream media tells the truth? When has it ever told the truth? So therefore, it hasn't just changed and had an epiphany about Palestine. It's a fake narrative, false narrative. Please understand it. Now, it doesn't mean that I agree with the whole Jewish question. That is another whole complex matter altogether. This is a very simple terrorist organization versus a people who just want to be able to get about their business and be peaceful, which are the Israeli Jews. All right? That's it. You understand? One side wants death and violence, and look at all the protests. Look at the other side. Look at the lefties, the Antifas. You know, ask yourself, how could you possibly support a side that is all about violence? It's just incredible. I'm so baffled by the gullibility factor. Anyway, that's it. Right, I'm not going to go on about Palestine anymore. If you can't figure it out, I can't help you. That's another one. Now, the other thing that's not being spoken about today, of course, is Brexit betrayal again and again and again. Brexit betrayal. So what they're talking about, of course, now, Brexit's in the news because Keir Starmer, the losing tosser, who's just an absolute scumbag of the highest order, he has betrayed us. It's been betrayed. That's in the news. That's what they're talking about is Brexit. They want to get everybody upset about the fisheries. They want to get it so that we're just back in, situ with the Fourth Reich. What they're not talking about, really, but mentioning on the sidelines, are the reasons for the fires at three of Keir Starmer's possessions. One an old car, one a flat, another property that, whatever, I don't know. A 21-year-old Ukrainian lad knew about and apparently set it on fire, allegedly speaking. So I'm just going to quickly just summarize my take on this. You research it. If I'm wrong, I don't really care. I really don't care. But it's my theory, which is just not alone, is, of course, as well, the cocaine in the train in Ukraine. That's not been talked about at all. It's fake news, according to the fake news. The fires are a poor Starmer. Not, why did a rent boy get his feelings hurt? Was he a rent boy, a boyfriend, whatever the hell? This guy's a creep. He's one of them. And I'm, sue me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I don't care anymore. I give no cares. I cannot stand these creatures. I cannot abide them. I'm not being nice. He's a rent boy, 21-year-old, lover spurned, disgusting. I mean, it just seems to coincide with the other day. Keir Starmer was over in Ukraine, all about the Zelensky, who's another, right? Cocaine, pervert, cross-dressing, weirdo, lunatic, psychopathic, dictator, warmonger. Have I covered it? You get my feeling? So, this is not being discussed. They're portraying Keir Starmer as a victim of this mysterious arson attacks, like, trying desperately to associate it probably with the extreme right wing. But, they've got another one arrested on suspicion of, I'm telling you how I really feel, okay? I'm telling you tonight, right? This is it. I'm just rat-a-tatting you with my take on the BS out there. So, cocaine on the train, rent boy sets his properties on fire, but Keir Starmer's being portrayed as a victim. And of course, his betrayal of Brexit is going to be complete, and so the media love him, and don't love him, but that's about it, right? How are we doing with that? Yes, Drummer Dave, Caleb Brown, excellent. I'll give you a reference. Hey, Drummer Dave, you got Caleb Brown? You can't use them in England. Rumors state Farmer and real dad is Jimmy Wait a minute, what? Narrowpath 84 is saying rumors state that, I think you're saying that Starmer's real father's Jimmy Savile? Huh? What? That's a new one. Wouldn't surprise me, seeing as he let him off the hook, and they're just vile. That's one. That's one for the books. Okay, that's it with Starmer. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I can't stand him. I can't stand the creature from the Eastern Europe, from the German Reich. Now, Donald Trump, baby. Donald Trump today has kind of had a bit of a, I don't know what's going on with him, okay? He's trying to set up the Middle East thing, all the deals. Of course, I'm not going to go into the Islam and 9/11 and all that stuff, okay? Because my feelings don't matter to anybody, okay? With regards to that, my feelings about the whole situation, Qatar apparently being behind the 9/11 or colluding with them all. What are you gonna do? But Donald Trump, let me just get it. UK Neil gave me a couple of links. Let me just go to UK Neil's feed, actually. It is. So Donald Trump today, I believe, was just out there. And And he posted this video on his Truth Social account. Now, he apparently did, right?
Jr. He was declared.
But this is it's like it's all coming to, I don't know. I'm not going to get too excited because, of course, again, a lot of noise, not much action when it comes to arresting people and trying the big names, okay? I will get more excited when action happens, i.e. Clinton gets arrested, Obama, blah, 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 all those people. So Donald Trump played this today. He's just really stirred up the pot with the deep state swamp creatures. They're slithering about the place going, oh, not that video. Oh, no. Make it stop.
The front runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. He supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found.
Then there's James McDougal, a key witness for White House prosecutors. He was serving his 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. And just before he was to give a testimony before the grand jury, McDougal suffered a heart attack in solitary confinement.
In 2015, Walter Scheib, a White House chef hired under Bill Clinton, joined the list. His body was found at the bottom of a river, nearly 2 miles from the base of the trail he was reportedly hiking. An autopsy determined that Scheib's death was accidental drowning, but he might have known too much. 27-year-old Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich was shot and killed in D.C. this year. There is speculation that he was the source of the controversial leaked emails allegedly sent by DNC staffers, and that he may have been murdered in retaliation. Then Sean Lucas, the lead attorney in a fraud case against the DNC, was found lying on the bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she returned home on August 2nd. His death was reported classified, pending the results of an autopsy.
Who's Sherry Booth? I'm seeing some news bombs there. So Donald Trump retruthed this, okay? It's not some, it's not, I hate to say it, but Alex Jones, right? It's not alternative media. This is Donald Trump retruthing this video about the Clinton body count, right? Not only that, but it seems as though today or yesterday, I don't know, because I don't listen to the briefings. I can't listen to them anymore. I mean, there was a time I just can't listen to the briefings on a daily basis with Catherine Levitt. I want to say Leavitt, but this was this apparently was spoken about today or yesterday.
Thank you. And my only other question for you is, so over the weekend, President Trump posted Truth Social a video highlighting what most people call the Clinton body count, which is the strange number of suicides that seem to happen in Clinton circles. I have a headline here from the Washington Post that said, Trump peddles false conspiracy theories tying the Clintons to several deaths. So I just wanted to highlight real quick, this wasn't in Trump's video, but this is from the Arkansas Times. And it's the death of Mark Middleton, who was a former Clinton White House aide, who was found dead on a Clinton Foundation property. And I'll just quote from the Arkansas Times. Middleton apparently shot himself in the chest with a shotgun and also hung himself from a tree with an extension cord. So I have no idea how somebody commits suicide that way, but if the Washington Post is here, maybe you can enlighten us as to how that was actually a suicide. So anyways, that's just a lead into my question about the most famous Clinton-related suicide, which is that of Jeffrey Epstein. There's still a lot of questions around that case. You've released phase 1 of the Epstein files. What was missing from that is any connection to his ties to intelligence agencies, and that's really the whole story, that not just trafficking young girls, but doing it on behalf of intelligence agencies, and even potentially as part of a blackmail ring with potential ties to the Israeli government. So for phase 2, when can we expect it? Will it have information pertaining to those aspects of the Epstein case?
I know the Attorney General has committed to releasing those files. I would defer you to the Department of Justice on her timeline, but when she has made a promise in the past, she has kept it, and I'm certain that she will in this case as well.
So there you go. So I mean, that was dropped, right? So this is all being put out there, all right, for the normies to hear. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm gonna go. I'll tackle that Sherry Booth thing in a minute. Now, this was released yesterday by Patel about Epstein.
And very soon. But when the likes of Comey and McCabe and Strzok and company came in here with the James Bakers of the world and intentionally lied to a federal court only to rig a presidential election by lying to the American public and using taxpayer dollars, likely illegally, to fund this entire operation and then withhold exculpatory information from a federal court that I used to appear before to manhunt terrorists, that's what broke the FBI. And then when they were caught, they lied about it. And you and a few others like Dan and others were brave enough to cover it 6, 7, 8 years ago. And we're still talking about it today because as Congress is working rigorously with us, the Crossfire Hurricane documents are coming fast and hard. And they're being sent unredacted so we can have full accountability. Boom. And that's how you restore what the trust that was lost to the American public when it comes to
Here
the
it
FBI.
comes.
Yeah, but come on, Director, with all due respect, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Buckle up.
And I've been demanding accountability for many, many years. You mentioned Comey, Strzok, and the rest. They've got TV shows. They've got media platforms. They're fine. There's been no accountability.
Well, look, it's a fair criticism, but what I will tell people is we weren't here in the FBI in the last 5 years when we had statute of limitations that were still in play, where we could have investigated criminal conduct. Most of these statute of limitations are 5 years old. And we will investigate criminal conduct where we find a righteous case to do so, and the law and the facts allow us to. But a lot of it we're precluded from. So we'll take the criticism, and it's rightfully so. Like, could we have done more in the past? Sure, people before us could have. But what we can do now is continue to put out the documents and the information that these people withheld from the American public. And I'm just telling you right now, as much as we know about Crossfire Hurricane, he and I just found out more last week. And we're continuing to work with Congress to put those documents out. That's how vindictive and vicious the former leadership structure here was.
When?
Not only did they bastardize the FISA process and lie to the American public, they withheld and hid documentation and put it in rooms where people weren't supposed to look. And it's a good thing we're here now to clean it up, and you're about to see a wave of transparency.
What do you mean?
Just give us about a week or two.
Okay. Well,
boom!
Give us about a week or two. Listen, I mean, of course, there should be arrests, right? There should be. Maybe they're on the brink, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But you know, Donald Trump as well today. Now, I'm going to say about Sherry Booth and Tony Blair. Apparently, Sherry Booth, according to this is something I wasn't aware of. According to Two Guns Pete, Sherry Booth's great grandfather was John Wilkes Booth. They're all related. They're all related. They all intermarry. It's all a big club, and thank God I'm not in it. That's all I can tell you. Wow, what a connection, huh? So, back to Donald Trump's. He's just whilst he's trying to get peace in Ukraine and Russia, or whatever that is, which of course is all about the biolabs and the money laundering and the child trafficking and the organ trafficking and all that stuff. It's got nothing to do with Russia invading Ukraine. Remember, it's a special military operation. And sorting out Magaza, which I'm hoping will turn into Trumpaza or something. Trumpaza. I like the sound of that. Gaza, Trumpaza. Well, that would wind him up, wouldn't it? Big statues of Donald Trump, gold statues at the entrance and the exit to Magaza Strip. All right, back to conversation. How much did Kamala Harris? Here we go again, right? Corruption. How much did Kamala Harris pay Bruce Springsteen for his poor performance during her campaign for president? I love the fact that he throws in the poor, right? He doesn't just say for his performance or how much did they pay for him for her campaign. He had to add for his poor performance. I mean, why did he accept that money if he's such a fan of hers? Isn't that a major illegal campaign contribution? What about Beyonce? I don't know if it's a campaign contribution. Wouldn't that be an expenditure that would be illegal? Wouldn't that be? Other than a contribution? Anyway, I don't know. What about Beyonce? And how much went to Oprah and Bono? I'm going to call for a major investigation into this matter. Candidates aren't allowed to pay for endorsements, which is what Kamala did under the guise of paying for entertainment. In addition, this was a very expensive and desperate effort to artificially build up sparse crowds. It's not legal. For these unpatriotic so-called entertainers, this was just a corrupt and unlawful way to capitalize on a broken system. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And according to news reports, Beyonce was paid $11 million to walk onto a stage, quickly endorse Kamala, Camel Toe, and walk off to loud booing because she didn't even perform. Not even one song. Remember, the Democrats and Kamala illegally paid her millions of dollars for doing nothing other than giving Kamala a full-throated endorsement. This is an illegal election scam at the highest level. It is an illegal campaign contribution. Bruce Springsteen, Oprah, Bono, and perhaps many others have a lot of explaining to do. Well, let's do the arresting then. Come on now. These are all being declared, right? All of these are being declared as corrupt acts, as fraudulent acts, as criminal acts. Let's get arrests and question. The evidence is overwhelming. Now, here we go. This is the important news about Vladimir's and the Donald. Just completed my 2-hour call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. I believe it went very well. Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations towards a ceasefire and, more importantly, an end to the war. The conditions for that will be negotiated between the two parties, as it can only be because they know details of a negotiation that nobody else would be aware of. The tone and spirit of the conversation were excellent. If it wasn't, I would say so now rather than later. Russia wants to do large-scale trade with the United States when this catastrophic bloodbath is over, and I agree. There's a tremendous opportunity for Russia to create massive amounts of jobs and wealth. Its potential is unlimited. Likewise, Ukraine can be a great beneficiary on trade in the process of rebuilding its country. Negotiations between Russia and Ukraine will begin immediately. I have so informed President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, Ursula von der Leyen, jawohl, mein Herr, President of the Europäische Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft Commission, President Emmanuel Macron, cocaine on the train of France, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of Italy. What's she doing? Oh, Chancellor Friedrich Merz, ich heil the cocaine on the train of Germany. And President Alexander Stubb of Finland. Who's he? What's he about? Well, who cares about Finland? Or is he one of the Europäische Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft presidents? During a call with me, immediately after a call with President Putin, the Vatican, as represented by the Pope, has stated that it would be very interested in hosting more hosting of the negotiations. Let the process begin. So good news, right? Mainstream media will push it as bad as nothing happened, as Trump was doing this, and Putin, he's in bed with Putin, and blah-de-blah-de-blah. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's going to be sorted. The golden age is here and here. Now, how am I doing for time? Let me just check my headlines. Let me just see what I've covered. Oh, Dilbert and Poopy Pants Joe. And then I'm going to cover I've got to expose the fake protesters. Okay? I've got to do a video. I don't know how. It's going to take me so much time.
Thank you. And,
what did I say? What did I just say then? What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, I used to like this bloke, right? Dilbert. I used to years ago when he was, before Biden came in, I guess. Or maybe before that I stopped listening to him because this Gilbert, he did the cartoons. Scott Adams. This man, he has aggressive prostate cancer. I used to enjoy his work until he went all out against us who questioned the narrative of the jib jab and the corona pandemic. He is paying, unfortunately, for his position, because he took the jibbity jab, I believe, with his life, sadly, right? I mean, I went off him. I used to find him quite interesting and quite amusing years ago, and then he just changed. So, in fact, it's not this one I want you to see, or not. I'll bring you to, because I haven't listened to his video. But he says the 67-year-old made the announcement on his podcast, Coffee with Scott Adams, just one day after Joe Biden announced he's got prostate cancer that metastasized and spread to his bones. The same thing's happened to Scott Adams. You know, that's the jib jab is the cancer jab, cancer acceleration jab, sadly and tragically. And he was, Scott Adams was a dickhead. He really was. I mean, I'm sorry that he's dying. Sorry that he's got the big C. But he was just very unpleasant throughout the whole pandemic. He was he, I guess, was paid to chill. Now, what I was watching just before I came on air was, hang on. Everybody's having completely different conversations in D-Live than what I'm talking about. I mean, it's quite distracting, all the conversations that are going on in the chat. I don't know if I'll be paying attention to the chat from now on, because it's so distracting. You guys are having a good old chin wagging there, which is fine. It is fine, right? So, I used to also I didn't like Jimmy Dore. He was a lefty, right? These people are lefties, really. But in fact, he's quite funny, and he's come over to the light. And of course, he was jab injured, is still jab injured. Jimmy Dore had terrible times, and he may not be around for much longer. But let me see about what Jimmy Dore says about Scott Adams.
His thumb through a Dilbert.
So this is the guy who does that Dilbert cartoon. Who everybody loves Dilbert.
Yeah, anybody who's taken a dump and somebody had a collection of his thumb through a Dilbert.
So he was very pro. So he's very much like me, like I am in my shadow. He's very smug all the time. He's very condescending all the time. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room all the time, and so all the things that I deny about myself and I put in my unconscious, he has it right on the surface. Mm-hmm. So good for him.
Where does he live? Does he live in New York, you think, or is he in
I think he lives most of the time halfway up his ass. But here we go. But so here he is. He called people who question the COVID narrative anti-vaxxers, which is a very lazy thing to do. But he does it. And so here he is.
Oh. Okay, I've just seen in Shepherding Shepherd in Foxhole and Pill.net saying low sound. Which sound is low? Is it me that's low, or is it the audio from the playback? I don't know when you made that comment, Shepherding Shepherd.
And when I first saw this, I thought, good, he is admitting he was wrong. And by the way, I'm not endorsing any medical facts he says in this video.
Is he admitting he's wrong? I don't know.
Well, let's watch. Yeah. So let's watch.
Having said as clearly as possible that the anti-vax people seem to be the winners, I want you to hear that clearly. The anti-vax people appear to be the winners.
Oh, okay. Who knows? So the anti-vaxxers are the winners, is what he's saying. First of all, most of the anti-vaxxers are not anti-vax.
Right.
That was just an insult for people who got injured and they didn't keep their mouths shut. That's what that was.
Yeah, well, and you won.
And
and Scott's big enough to admit it.
And by the way, it's
why is he making this stupid?
Oh my God!
Look at him.
And you won.
Yeah. Are you happy? Scott's telling you won. I let him say it clearly. Look at behind him. He drew a chart.
He He's doing like game theory, right? Is that what that is?
That's how I take it. That's
anyway. This was quite interesting. Scott Adams, unfortunately, and again, I'm just saying. I used to like him many years ago. Well, not many years ago. I don't know. He was quite interesting during the. I guess I was probably listening to him back in 2016, 17. I think he was. He does have interesting things to say about certain topics, and then he just went all out against, anybody who questioned the pandemic, and obviously with the jib jab as well, right? So, and he said apparently, hold on, let me just play a little bit more of this.
Like game theory.
Who knew Scott Adams had such a beautiful mind, starring Russell Crowe as Dilbert?
Did anybody see a beautiful mind?
So, secondly, it's not a win, Scott. If Scott wanted to say it correctly, he could say people who thought there might be an issue with the entire narrative around COVID were right. Not anti-vaxxers were right. People who were skeptical of the official establishment narrative around COVID, and for good reason. But he just calls them... I wish he would address this using Dilbert strips. Right? I'm sorry, Scott. Why don't you write a Dilbert where Dilbert files a Freedom of Information request for the Vax data? How about that? And then, boy, imagine his chagrin.
Yeah.
When they tell him it's going to be 75 years.
Dilbert. His boss with the triangle hair comes out and tells him.
So let's listen to what he says.
The anti-vaxxers clearly are the winners at this point, and I think it'll probably stay that way. And I don't want to put any shade on that whatsoever. They came out the best.
Believe me, there's a lot of shade coming.
They came out the best?
Believe me. Right? I know. No, it's...
Are you telling me Albert Bourla is an anti-vaxxer?
So, okay. So believe me, I was encouraged when I heard him say that, but believe me, he's going to throw shade. And I'll show you that in a second. Here we go.
The winning position. The unvaccinated have a current advantage because they feel better. The thing they're not worrying about is what I have to worry about, which is, I wonder if that vaccination 5 years from now, because really the anti-vaxxers, I think, were really just distrustful of big companies and big government. That's never wrong.
Yeah, we did our research. Okay, that's it. So that's what he said. So Scott Adams said about 5 years, and of course it looks like he's not going to have 5 years to find out with what has happened to him. So yeah, he took the jab and regretted it. This gentleman took the jab. Jimmy Dore took the jab. Everybody's taking the jab, regretted it. And of course, anyway, just as in the news, the Gateway Pundit, and he's not looking well at all now, is he, Scott Adams?
And I did try it with the assistance of the doctor, who's the famous doctor, Dr. Makis. And it wasn't that I believed it would work. It was just that there wasn't much downside risk. So with my doctor's, blessing, he didn't think it would work, of course. And it didn't work at all.
The thing is, isn't it funny? People going to the doctors, same ones who gave him the jib jab, same ones who told him to do this, they still go to the doctor. This is just sort of, it's not Stockholm syndrome, it's sort of cognitive dissonance. I don't know what it is, but, people have been trained. Anyway, shocking stuff in the chat, I have to say. I am going to just say that I'm a bit thrown by Wayne the Pain making a comment. That was your neighbor? I got confused with the foster cat. I don't know whose foster cat Drummer Dave was talking about, but Wayne the Pain said, I'm taking care of it. My 93-year-old neighbor passed away 3 days ago. Oh, you're watching a cat. I guess him is the cat until the family picks the cat up, because I thought you were talking... Not funny. I thought you were talking about the body. I thought you were watching... It's not funny. I'm not laughing at that. I just really got confused with what you said. I thought that Wayne Payne said that 93-year-old poor neighbor who was fully jib-jabbed, of course, passed away, and I thought he was watching the body until the 3 days. I thought the body was lying there. I mean, I thought, oh, that's some dedication, let me tell you. But no, I think I've worked it all out after reviewing the tape. It looks like Wayne Payne is, in actual fact, looking after the neighbor's cat until the family of the poor woman who passed away at 93 after fully jib-jabbed can pick the cat up. Let me just check to see if I've got this correct. I'm not too bad at deducing things sometimes. Oh, don't tell me I got it wrong. Nope. Me and the dead? Oh, come on, Wayne. Don't. Oh, I've got it wrong. So you are looking after the body until the family can come and pick it up? What about the cat? I'm so confused. Now I'm really confused. All right, I'm not going to joke now. I'm just going to let Wayne explain it in full sentences in the chat. Nobody else interfere with the chat in DLive. I need to get the full story. I thought I'd worked out a really logical explanation for what was said, but it looks like I may have got it horribly wrong. No! Okay. That's not a full sentence, Wayne. What button are you pressing? XRP, baby. Okay, so Wayne is being a good neighbor. All I can tell you. Now, okay, let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is 2025, okay? It's May of 2025, and there are... Oh, I was correct. Wayne, what are you doing to me? Oh, man. Why are you paying me back? I was helping you with XRP. Now you're messing with my head. Stop. You could go in the naughty corner, Wayne. Now listen. Here's my, just because of my unique perspective on things. I mean, I don't think you'll have many people with the rap sheet that I have. Right? With the amount of engagements I've had with the boys and girls in blue, how much I've been brutally treated by the courts, by the police, by the whatever, everybody. So my regard for the people in uniform is zero, okay? And with all the time that I spent filming, and I'm a body language, I don't know why, but I'm an observer, acute observer of how people behave. Sometimes I get it wrong, but I see behavioral activity that doesn't fit right. And let me just say this, right? As a true, full-blooded, patriotic individual, I love freedom, as how we understand the word, and liberty, and justice, and all things good. I like good people. I don't like bad people, okay? I just want everybody to have a comfortable, safe life, okay? Now, all of our side, I'd say my side, we protest peacefully, we speak our minds, we express ourselves using words, we don't use fists and weapons, unless we're defending ourselves, okay? We don't just mete out random acts of violence or any kind of bad stuff like that. The other side, on the other hand, the lunatic left, the swamp creatures, the paid-for protesters who've got a free pass because they're on the side of the government, they're in collusion. They, on the other hand, can behave as badly as they like, knowing that they will get away with it, right? So because we are too good, too pleasant, and too mature adults' behavior, the other side has to cheat. The other side has to cheat and pretend like they're us. So they put on the gear. They put on gear that they think will make them blend in. I mean, in the States, it's, the Trump stuff they were all trying to wear. But, they give it away with how they behave. The language, where they drop the F-bombs, the language is potty language of the other side. Everything about them is wrong. So they could wear Trump gear all they like. But, if they give a false narrative, then they're like beacons of demonic entities wearing Trump gear. So on our side of this, in England, it's not so obvious. The Antifa, the lefties, all the stuff, right? But and again, the police, they're called filth for a reason. They're called pigs for a reason. I once upon a time never thought of them like that. I didn't. I was very naive, and I actually thought that the police did a good job. I mean, how wrong was I? What I realize, right, is there is a conspiracy against the good people of this country. Okay? The people who walk around in clown costumes, otherwise known as police uniforms, are agents of the government. They work for their agenda. They are not there, as most people believe, to protect and serve, arrest the criminals, and blah, blah, blah. Right? They're totally agents. There are, and I'm going to tell you, right, in these protests, which are I'm going to show you one. I'm going to show you a protest from this weekend, this last weekend. There were plenty of, I mean, the Palestine thing is going on every weekend. I mean, that's obvious what that's about. But we have the people who are protesting. Britain First came back again to do an event. UKIP had a protest. We had, and I say, Birmingham. I'm not reading the chat anymore. I'm sorry. I'm getting very upset about what's going on in the chat. Don't wind me up in the chat. I don't like what I'm seeing. I could go off certain people. Anyway, I'm going to play a little video, and I'm going to show you the obvious the acting, right? So, here we go. So in Birmingham this weekend, there was Britain First, and I can't believe it, but 8 years ago. 8 years ago? No, 5. Yes, 8 years ago. I attended my first ever protest, and it was with them. You know, in a big group. I went on a protest in Telford because of the obviously the Pakistani raping gangs, or grooming gangs. There was a protest. Britain First were doing a thing, so I went there, totally unaware of what I was getting myself into. They were doing a protest, and I swear, just blink, and 8 years on, and you still have the same group, same chant, same everything. They were in Birmingham, and unfortunately, you have, whether they're undercover police in the crowd of the Britain First, I don't know, whatever they are, but you always find people who are either Tommy rallies or Brexit or any patriotic thing, and you'll find a bunch of men drinking beers, right? Acting like idiots. I don't think they're genuine. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're undercover police. I don't know. But so
they're going to join the side. Everyone's going to be marching. It's only about 5-10 minute walk down the road. But
we have. Wait a minute. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you behaviour that's obvious. You got the lefties, the loony lefties, all paid for, or just idiots on one side. The police do this, right? They have two groups there, you know, facing off each other with a gap in the middle, and the police just stand there. One side abuse, the other one just, you know, blah, blah, blah. But what you're going to look for are people in masks, people with baseball caps, and what I want you to watch very carefully is the police's body language. The police shovey of the other people. So there's a lot of shovey. Where is it? I say, you know, the police just stand there, loads of police. If somebody had a problem, they had a break-in and they called the police and said, sorry about it, we can't come because we don't have anybody free. You've got all these oodles of uniformed goony-woonies just standing doing nothing. Bugs me no end. Anyway, I'm going to try and get to a clip that is going to be useful. Because, you know, there they are standing off, this lot hurling abuse. And my apologies, I'm not actually on the right clip, which is just really annoying. So you got this group here. You got the beer with the beer. One's in the front. Oh no, I'm not gonna do them. Never mind. Let me just get to this. You know, they've got this white something on, reeling out this flag to portray the Britain First people badly. You're all standing there. Hang on. Actually, do you know what? I can't, I have my opinion about this guy being taken over by the police to the one side. I just want to get this. Okay, here it is. This is the footage. I want you to watch this, all right? So they're coming up the street, and because Britain First had an arranged protest, met with the police, they're given a route to walk up, and apparently the police, of course, agreed to keep it clear and not have any lefty lunatics or anti-whatever interfering with their march, right? Get ready for the first incident. I'll let it play, and then we'll go back and watch it, and I'll break it down for you.
We've got Antifa crowd to the side here.
Wait a minute. Damn it, did I miss it? Did I miss that? Sorry. I got the wrong bloody footage. Sorry. Where's the guy who got shoved up the street? Oh, you know, I could fire myself. I don't know what happened there. Okay, hang on. Sorry. I'm sure I played it this morning. I had the right one. So weird. Ah, stand by, stand by. No, that's Manchester. Okay. Hello to YouTube. There was a guy who was shoved up the street. Let me look at my history. Stand by. Oh no, she's done it again. She's got the wrong bloody clip. It's so annoying. Not pro-Palestine, not doing that one. Britain First. Let's do this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. My apologies, everybody. I've got the right footage now. So here we go. We have them going up the shopping street, and let's watch this. Watch this clip.
There are, you know, British immigrants who do live here as well.
What do you say?
Is it more against illegal migration or just immigrants in general? Because we got one arrest. What's happening? What's happening? He's being taken down. Oh, another guy's being. What's going on here? One lad in there is getting pulled over for some reason. He's resisting, and the police are kind of pulling him away.
Mate, just go away.
Oh, 3 officers on him now.
What's this? No peace here. No peace in any of that. Nah, what's this on? Got the right to Nah.
Go on, mate.
What do we let him have?
Just go over here.
Don't touch. Understand. So yeah, at the minute you can tell it's kind of heating up. You know, a lot of people do not support Britain First. Obviously, it is a kind of nationalist party. Yeah, I think it's in a similar.
Okay, now I'm going to take you through that was an undercover policeman in the casual, and he was staged to make a scene and to be rushed off. But what they weren't counting on, I don't think, were all the cameras from the Patriots, sort of patriotic side, to show the footage, because they had the snapping photographers who took the action shots. But if you watch this, right, there's no reason. Apparently this guy is shouting, and he's got 3 police who suddenly rush him up the road, right? So they rush him up the road, no particular reason. I didn't hear any screaming or yelling. So the scene is grab this guy he's obviously undercover, being physically assaulted by the police by being rushed up the street for no apparent reason. Nobody knows why. It's just like, oh, I mean, the commentator, this guy, you can tell he's confused. It's like, oh, he's resisting, but I don't know quite why what he's doing. It's not clear. So here we go. So right, here we go. Okay, guys, right, action. We need some disturbance. So we have the snapping photographer here, right there, ready. We got cameras there, for cameras all ready to capture the police getting into action. All right, all going after this one bloke. Okay, so camera, snap, snap. And then we have an accomplice, also all in dark and with a baseball cap on. So easy to spot for the police. So he's running up and he gets intercepted by the blue-vested liaison officer. So he grabs him. The problem is that they think of something that they're going to do, but they don't think it through. They don't actually think it through to what they're going to do to finish it. And so this guy thinks, great, I'm going to catch him. But then he kind of gives him a little word of advice and then lets him go. Watch. He grabs him, he holds him, he hugs him, and then he says something, you know, and then he lets him go. And so he pushes him away. Off he goes. Meanwhile, snap, 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 for the big commotion of this guy being dragged over here. We've got this lefty photographer, clip, clip, clip. And we've got his buddy again coming with the hat on and the dark outfit. The police are pushing him back. Now, all the air goes out of the so-called protester, all of the fight. He has nothing to say. He's not enraged about Britain First. He didn't really get much of a script. So,
for some reason, he's resisting. And
you got the photographer there, you got the camera there, you got the camera there. You got all the photographers, snap, 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 with the police activity, with the protester.
Police are kind of pulling him away.
And you've got this mysterious soul here in a, again, brown hoodie with his face covered with a black backpack. Very common outfit. Another one of the agent provocateur to just sort of step in but not actually do much. Right, so he's there. And then you've got this policeman, Mr. Lanky, who... no need for him to be there at all. There's already is it 3 coppers on him? He's got this, now he comes in to make it just look more exciting. Snap, 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 snap. Photographer, 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 photographer.
Well, 3 officers on him now.
Right.
Actually, no peace in any of
the guy who's being pushed. No peace there. No peace there. I mean, what does that mean? No peace there? What? No, you've got the wrong protest. It's, what is it? What? No justice, no peace? No, wrong group, Mr. Undercover. You're on the other side, and there's nothing. What are these 2 Keystone cops doing with the beards? I mean, they just look like clowns, don't they? Amateur hour.
that. Nah, what's this on? Got the right Nah.
He doesn't have anything to say. Mr. Hoodie's there. The police don't really have anything to say or anything to do because the scene is over. Not really sure what to do now. And now he's going to shout some nonsense of nothing and everything's just going to fizzle out and go back.
Go on, mate.
What do we let him have? Just go over here.
What did he say? Mother muff. What did he say? Nah.
What do we let him have? Just go over here.
What muff? Yeah, just go over here. Now he's getting him over here. Here we have Hoodie. We have this other bloke with the sunglasses on his head. Black. See, oh, they wear these dark outfits, right? Dark t-shirts, trousers, brown or black. He's got the baseball cap, some kind of headgear on, again, to separate them from other people. And he's got sunglasses on his head. Black backpack. And he's not really going to do much of anything either. Except he has a role to play in the next encounter up the road a little bit. So this is like the action crew, the protesters, you know, having done their activity with the cops, to the police, to have their little, you know, to make it seem dramatic.
Don't touch. Understand.
Understand
So
what?
yeah, at the minute you can tell it's kind of heating up. You know, a lot of
And now the police are like, they've all got facial hair. Warning, Will Robinson. The police have a lot of facial hair, and I'm afraid that goes with Islam. It does. That or they're lazy bastards, but it's more to do with the what's coming is Islam. And if they've got facial hair, they can just blend in. So here we have all just kind of, it's finished. So he's going to walk off.
people do not support Britain First. Obviously, it is a kind of nationalist party.
What are they doing?
Yeah, I think it's simmering, guys. It is simmering.
It's simmering.
Just the beginning.
It's simmering. It's simmering. Now, look, this young man is quite a good reporter. He goes to all kinds of places, but unfortunately, he's conflicted because it's obvious that his ethnicity is not white English, right? So this probably wasn't the best protest for him to cover because he's torn. Because if you listen to his coverage, he can't help himself but continue talking about, you know, people think Britain First is racist. What do you say to people about calling you racist? And the people that he talks to say we're not racist. And then later on he goes on to say, well, they're racist, you know, they're acting. Well, it's just not the right protest for him. Even though he's probably born here, he's obviously.
Of the protest, it's going to be marching all the way through Birmingham, going through different areas of the city centre. One guy was pulled for, I don't know, coming over to the Britain First lot. Hey, buddy.
We're here protesting, looking after the people. As you've seen, we've already had a couple of people try to attack us. This is a peaceful protest, and you've seen the opposition and how they can be on their malice.
I mean, what do you have to say that Britain First is a racist party, and because of what's happened in the past?
You look at the diversity that's walking behind me right now, and it will prove to you that it is not a racist party in any way, shape, or form.
What did Britain First kind of want in a sense then?
Well, they want our government to stop being weak and stop facilitating for everything that's gone wrong in this country.
Alright, guys, so we have some Antifa crowds.
Here we have the banner crew. Right, here's the banner set, right? They have this weird banner up that doesn't say anything in particular. And they're going to be backed up by the police. And this time we have a woman involved, and she has a baseball cap. It's like standard kit, right? Baseball cap. And just what I want you to notice is the shoving. Now, when the police have put their hands on me, I find it so annoying. It's like, don't touch me. You may have heard me say it a couple of times, those of you who've watched my stuff. Touching somebody else is assault. It's invasion. Unless you know them. And what this screams to me is the police have been they're training. They train the crowd control training. They do an awful lot of training, and in the training they have people dressed up as pretend protesters, and you have the police, and basically they just do a shovey. I call it the shovey. The shovey. A lot of arms. The police push on the police to make it all seem very dramatic, but nobody actually gets arrested on that side. It's all just a lot of movement and shouting, but not a lot of actual substance to the event. But for the pictures, for the snappers, it looks good. It's good. It's dramatic. It's disgusting. Okay, it pisses me off. And what really pisses me off is how few people can see it on our side. They don't see it. They don't see the police collusion, the police activity of over-policing us, and they don't see the undercovers who are obviously acting. Watch this.
Some signs here, something about kids. And they got about 4 of them, face masks on, police officer pushing them. Can't really say something about fascism, of course. This woman's getting pushed, officers coming for backup. Okay, we've got a...
They're having a tug of war with a banner, and there you have the undercover police hood with their sunglasses on. It's not a sunny day. Baseball cap, and again, dull outfit. They're just going to have a shovey, and a shouting, and a move back. Cameraman right here with his snap, right? Cameraman, snap. Just look at all the people around.
Stop being weak and stop facilitating for everything that's gone wrong in this country.
Alright, guys, so we have some Antifa crowds with some signs here, something about kids. And they got about 4 of them, face masks on, police officer pushing them. We can't really see something about fascism, of course. This woman's getting pushed. Officers coming for backup. Okay, we've got a... Oh, sorry,
Get a job! Get a job and go!
Well, a lot of officers are coming in.
Ow! Oh, here's Mr. Lanky again. Mr. Lanky Cop, he's got to get in on the action. Right, here he is. Here he comes to the rescue. We got Mr. Sikh on the left with his Sikh hair covered with the useless head covering that doesn't protect him much.
A lot of officers needed. The argument is that, you know, this side will usually say the police protect the fascists, is what they tend to say. A lot of pushing and shoving going on.
Pushing and shoving. Look. Oh, look, it's him again. It's our baseball cap. Mr. being shoved. He's been shoved a lot today. So there he is. Again, part 2, act 2. Now, the banner scene. Get him pushed up over to the stairs. Right, there he is.
To move.
Push.
Told you. You've already been warned to move away, okay?
Right, so there we go. You see a lot of police pointing. Told you to move away. Snap, snap, snap. That's a good picture. Told you to move away. Right, same guy. And he doesn't even have a proper jacket. His police thing's worn out. I mean, how bad is that? Okay, watch him. Big dramatic. Got the cameras. Camera click, click, click.
Told you. You've already been warned to move away, okay? You've already been warned. You're on camera. You've already been warned. Yes, you. You've been...
So the officer's giving him a warning. I don't think they're going to go away because they want to send a message against the protest. So the police are trying to grab the sign down. What's going on here? All the bystanders thinking, what's going on over here?
Oh, okay. So she's come in. We've got to move down there, right? She's coming fast in from the rear, shouting. Everybody's moving backwards, not for any particular reason, no need, okay? All action, shouty, click, 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 beardy, beardy, lanky man still there, and they're all going to be backed off.
The resisting guys. Fighting back against the
Police doing a okay job at pushing and shoving them, but not doing the best job, I'd say.
What's the purpose of that? So if I ask you something and then I stop you, that's all right, is it? That's the thing.
Here he goes again, right? We've got the sunglasses bloke who was in the first crowd again. Baseball cap. Now he's being upset about apparently being whatever, right? He's not really upset. He's just doing the whole... And here's lanky policeman again.
Okay, there's a tram coming in as well. He's got to be careful here. Oh, pushing. Is it pushing him down the stairs? Bloody hell.
He's got a stick out, man.
Okay, well, I don't want to go down the stairs. A lot of pushing and shoving. Oh, down the stairs.
Hey, shove, shove.
Oh, the police are pushing him down the stairs. Quite aggressive, I'd say.
Useless thugs. What is any of this?
So yeah, this protest does have a planned route.
I mean, you see, it's just pathetic. None of that was real. That was all staged. And this guy, you could hear what he was talking about. He was explaining what was happening, and none of it made any sense. They're pushing him, they're shoving them back. I don't know quite why, what they're doing, but they're pushing, and there's a lot of resistance. Just pathetic. Videos. And, you know, a friend of mine, I can't believe it, I heard him on stage, Joey Manarino. It carried on, by the way. Oh, is that him again? Oh, it's another one. Anyway, it was quite entertaining. And then, of course, we've got the Nazis here. White is right. But let's listen to our Joey, man from America. He was there. I didn't know that.
United States, where are you from?
Well, that migration is too high. It is kind of having an underlying tone with other things as well. If you kind of read between the lines with some people.
What's she saying? I can't hear you. What? I'm from the United States. Where are you from? Whatever. She wants to be heard. I don't know. She doesn't realize they're going to send everybody back. Okay? Remigration. This did not stop.
Oh my gosh, she's got a picture next to the President of the United States, Joey. Oh my God. He was with me at Speaker's Corner. We befriended each other at Speaker's Corner back in the day, the 2018. Oh, Joey. He's got a lot of followers now.
Today.
What's your reason for joining Britain First?
I haven't joined them. I support English people. I support the workish English man. I'm not communist. I'm not far right. I'm English.
What do you think is happening to the working class man in England right now?
We're being looked down upon. You say one thing, you show one flag, and you're deemed a racist. I'm quarter caste, I'm mixed race, Caribbean. How can I be racist? There's no racism here. There's English, there's white, there's black, there's Asian. There's nothing to do with race. We're just Englishmen.
Some people argue that in general, Britain First wants like an ethno-national country, so pure white country. Do you believe that's true?
They want a Christian country, because that's what England is. England is a Christian country. It always will be.
Scotland, Wales and Ulster are being replaced and betrayed and slaughtered in our own.
Anyway, that was Britain First. Same message, same thing, same flag, same people. And, you know, obviously some of the, I don't know, I agree with the point. Right? It's just, obviously, they're not going to get anywhere because everybody's been cucked into submission in this country. And, you know, say, it's, I don't know, it's weird. Now, Joey, my friend Joey, the guy who was on the stage, who I didn't know was going to be there, he has 614,000 followers.
Look, let's be real. If I had cancer and Joe Biden found out, he wouldn't give a flying fuck. He called me and every one of us garbage. Remember? He said we're garbage. He said that we are basically Nazis. Remember that speech in front of Independence Hall with the red background? So I understand our religion says, pray for him. God forgives. I don't. So
anyway, Joey's he's unique. Let's go, Brandon. Cool guy. Fun. All right, so anyway, what I'm going to just say, everybody, I don't know what the answer is for people seeing through all of the fakery, but, you know, a lot of that happened on January 6th. Most of it was performance, the police, undercover lefties, pretending to be Trump supporters. All the trouble came from the undercovers. Or, of course, if somebody is, I say a patriot, it's just an easy way to reference the right people. Correct people. If they react to an incident, that's the only time, really, except for a few hotheads, any time that the people on our side misbehave. And because we don't, then they have to make it up and pretend and act and do that. So it's sad. Sad. All right. Now, that's about it for tonight. Evan, I can't believe how fast the time's gone. President Trump right now is, he's like the Energizer Bunny. President Trump is doing
of our three brothers.
A law enforcement heroes. He never ends. What's he doing?
Brothers. Words really can't express how thankful we are.
Hopefully it's maybe never going to be given out. So we'll give it to Sheriff Bradshaw, who's an incredible sheriff. And you've done an amazing job, and we'll have it should something happen. And that's right here, okay? So
I mean, you know, I'm going to just say, right, in America, obviously they're part of the police force. They're also agents of the government. But I can tell you, there are a shed load more of normal police in America who actually do their job, protect the innocent and arrest the guilty. England is lost. The English police have all been common purposed, all been brainwashed and controlled into behaving and doing the bidding of the government. It doesn't matter. They don't believe in rights. They are Freemasons, and I mean, there's a lot of that in the States, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. I do want to see if I think I have got a little light-hearted ending for you. Hang on. Oh, I was going to do that for XRP. Got this Pompeius X. He had a very good thread. So I'm going to round up with our XRP because again, this is the last. I intend not to try to convince anybody else to take a look at this seriously, because I feel that we are on the brink. I mean, I know I've been saying it for 5, 6, 7 years, but I really this time I do. So Pompeo says this one chart could change how you see XRP forever. The global real estate market is worth $280 trillion. What if I told you XRP is already positioned to help tokenize it? Not in theory, but in real-world government-backed pilots. You've heard of flipping houses. Now imagine flipping tokens backed by houses from your phone. We're not talking about JPEGs, we're talking about property deeds, equity shares, rental income, all flowing through the XRP ledger. This isn't just bullish, it's economic transformation. Keep reading. The future of real estate is on-chain and XRP is building the rails. Ripple's real estate moves are already in motion. Hong Kong Central Bank selected Ripple to pilot real estate tokenization using a digital HKD. Translation, home equity becomes tradable. Property gets a send button. Meanwhile, in Portugal, Ripple-backed Proper Home is imagining the entire buying process using NFTs. I said that about that. XRP, NFTs, houses. And in the description, you've got a different... anyway, sorry. Only people who've got NFTs will know, so I'm not going to go into it, but... yeah, I saw that. On the XRP ledger, converting deeds, rental agreements, and even listings into programmable digital assets. Ripple isn't building a use case, it's building the next real estate infrastructure. Right, this is quite a long feed. I'm not going to continue, but it's just all building up, everybody. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Crazy good. In a good way. Now, I don't know if they had the Genius Act vote. Let me just check if they've done that just yet. I'm going to just stay with me for the light-hearted ending. Oh, wait, I've done this again, right? See if they've done it. Right. So searching about the Genius Act from ChatGPT. Currently unable to access live browsing tools. Oh. Okay. Give me a link to GovTrack US. Find legislation. Alright. I don't know where the Genius Act is. Oh, what's it? Oh, here we go. Genius Act. Let me just see. I'm sure somebody's already answered it. Genius Act of 2025. I don't know what number it is. Yeah, this is it. Nah. United States Congress. Alright. Nah. It's probably being stalled by the dark side. Thank you for joining me tonight. You know, it is just... it's a tidal wave that's being held back. So... is this the only thing I have for light heart? No. Okay. Look at this. This is cute.
Whoa! Oh, no. We have to look at everybody first. What Daddy has. Oh! You got one? I got mine. Okay.
give you one.
Oh, you give me one?
I will give you piece of that.
Thank you. Is that it? We can eat?
Yeah.
Okay. Boston.
That was very clever, that child. Everybody thought, because in all the other videos, the child gives the parent their one of their two, the one of the two that they have. Okay. Oh, look, I'm on the YouTube thumbnails. How's that happening? Fabulous. Let me just go into YouTube, see if anybody's in the chat. And can I ask, guys, please would you comment in the chat, if you wouldn't mind? I'd really appreciate it in Rumble. Make a comment down below. Or in YouTube, because it would be nice. Only, of course, if it's a nice chat. I'll be looking at the police stuff. I plan to do a program dedicated to how to deal with the copperoonies in England. Not really, not how to, I don't know. I've got to do some science stuff. I must do some reading. I want to read to you all. There's just not enough time in the day. Just not enough time in the day. So I don't know what happened to pill.net, but it's this. The chat seems to have stuck unless everybody's gone. Kitty Me, my apologies, in New Zealand. Thank you for tuning in on Rumble. Kitty's comment, if you're still here. Well, it had problems with the Rumble. I don't know if there was problems with my Rumble, whatchamacallit, feed. But said a popular radio host here in New Zealand said today that Trump makes everything up as he goes along. Lots of listeners, and wow, they in for a shock. Ah, it's so sick. I genuinely can't listen to the fake media news. I can't listen to LBC anymore in the car. I cannot abide them. Everything, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. Trump doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't know how to do trade deals. Doesn't know how to blah, blah, blah. All bad. 100%. In fact, I think they're worse here than they are in the States. So I can't even listen to them anymore. They opine so much. They fill so much with just their own opinion and their own thoughts. They put words into people's mouths. They say that, we think this is... No, they say, sources say that this is happening. And, they'll probably do this because of that. No facts. Boring. So it's only Monday. We have plenty of time. So I'm hoping to hear good news about the Genius Act and hoping to see a bit of a market boost. I mean, this could be a big fat gotcha, couldn't it, with XRP? I mean, I don't know. It's $2.38. $2.38. Maybe we've been had. We'll be fine. Just wait. Tidal wave will kick and hit, and we'll be engulfed in. Just be amazing. And that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on getting here. All right? Yeah. I mean, either here or the States. I'm definitely getting out of this hellhole. Sooner the better. So I will hopefully catch you all on Wednesday. It's just almost at the top of the hour. I hope you've enjoyed what you've watched tonight. I thank you for your company, and I appreciate your lovely remarks. And I please do have a very pleasant couple of days. Don't have nightmares, but remember, if you tolerate this, then your turn will be next. Until the next time. Jamie, out.
Coinbase and Ripple are now in a bidding war, and that is for USDC, the Circle company. Today we'll break it down for you. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into TechPath. let's get going. I do want to thank our sponsor today, and that is iTrust Capital, a place where you guys can get your own crypto IRA started. And it's very easy to set up. If you're brand new to IRAs, you can actually do that right there at itrustcapital.com. And if you already have an IRA and you want to shift it over and being able to start opening your whole asset base up into altcoins and the crypto sphere, you can do that as well. So it's very easy to do. If you use our link, you're going to be able to get a $100 funding reward to get started.